Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu-alaikum. Ji ayanu bkhair agale ni hao chunishumme washmale. Ohaya gonzaimas guten morgen. Hola, bonjour, privet, kaifa hal? Hale shuma chatore. Ahlan wa sahlan marhaba. Buna mucho gracias. Swabi abballi kare aaya. Hoş geldin and khuyamur achivato chi hajat kalimera khairutan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning alongside my wonderful colleague who happens to be Miss Eesha Rehan. I happen to be Shahzad Khan, and we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Eesha, assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam, Shahzad. I am feeling absolutely great. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And to be honest, I'm actually feeling quite optimistic today.
Okay.
Because, you know, for some time I was very down because of the heat, and I was, you know, drooping and very sad and mopey that, oh my God, summers are here, it's so hot and I'm sweaty. But I think we should make the most of summers because it is the perfect time to wear pretty summer dresses, to drink a lot of lemonade, to go swimming and to go enjoy with your families. So first things first, let's dive into the weather news.
I think I need to ask you about this first. So first things first, you know, because you said that, you know, you were down, you were sad, that it's summertime, and then you thought that, hey, you know what, let's do make the best of summer as well. But why is it that you couldn't really recognize that summer is a weather just like winters or just like any other weather out there?
I think what is especially bothering about summers is all the insects that come to life. You know, suddenly you see mosquitoes and so many bugs around, so I think that really disappoints me. However, we hope and pray that all mosquitoes get extinguished by dragonflies. Now let's get into the weather. The Met Office has predicted very hot weather in most plain areas of the country till 21st of the month. General public, especially children, women and senior citizens, are advised to take precautionary measures. The Met Office has also advised to avoid exposure to direct sunlight during the daytime, especially during peak sunshine from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So make sure to stay safe, stay indoors and stay hydrated. Drink a lot of lemonade and peach drinks and any summer fruity drinks that you love.
Exactly, that's important, and I think that the best message is to stay hydrated. And for everybody, I spoke about it just yesterday as well. If you are most of the time in an air-conditioned room, please make sure that you first of all turn it off, acclimatize to the outside weather, and then step outside, because otherwise there can be muscle spasms, there can be flu, and there can be other issues which you might have to face. So please make sure that you're mindful about it. But very unfortunate that unfortunately Israel and Iran actually continue to kind of raise their conflict on the 6th day as well, where the Chief of Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces has urged Israelis to leave capital Tel Aviv and port city of Haifa. Both these cities have been heavily hit by Iran over the past 5 days. In a statement carried by Fars news agency, Major General Abdul Rahim Mousavi advised the two major Israeli cities sorry, to leave to save their lives, warning punitive actions or imminent.
The Israeli military says that they destroyed about 2,000 missile launching locations across Iran, and they say that believe that Iranians can't fire as many missiles as they want to. Several fires broke out in open areas along the Israel's coastal, southern and central regions following the Iranian missile barrage. Iran's Supreme Leader Alawat al-Kirami stated in a post on X that the battle had begun following a warning from U.S. President Donald Trump, who said that they knew the Supreme Leader's location. He said that there are no immediate plans to target Iran's top leader, but the patience is running out. Trump has also demanded Iran's unconditional surrender and said, now we have complete control over Iran's skies. This comes amid reports that the U.S. is deploying more fighter jets to the Middle East.
Right, it's unfortunate to see what's actually happening between the two countries as well, and we hope and pray that the children and the mothers and people of Iran are actually safe and finally find a shelter for themselves as well. Unfortunate to see the way the world is going. But now coming back to Pakistan, where Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, the field of sports is doing wonderfully well. Pakistan will face New Zealand today in their third FIH Nation Cup match in Kuala Lumpur. Earlier, Pakistan narrowly defeated Japan 3-2 after coming from behind, with Japan leading 2-1 at half-time. Pakistan scored in both the third and fourth quarters to secure their first win. Their opening match against Malaysia ended in a 3-3 draw marking a competitive start to the tournament.
And not just that, Pakistan's women tennis team knocked off their first Billie Jean King Champion Award with a 2-1 victory over Tajikistan in a group of 3 at the Asia Oceania Zone A held in Colombo. In the singles, Amna Al-Qayyum was forced to retreat hurt, giving Tajikistan the initial lead. However, Ushna Sohail leveled the match with a strong performance. The decisive double match saw Mehek Kokar and Ushna Sohail pair up to the secure win for Pakistan. Pakistan will now face Turkmenistan today in their second group match.
Oh, that's wonderful. And not just that, just yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about this wonderful guy who's actually done quite a lot, broken more than 150 Guinness World Records. And not just that, I mean, he's been doing it with 100-pound weights, 80-pound weights, 60-pound weights, and 40-pound weights. But imagine, I'm going to share it with our audiences once again because we're very lucky that he'll be joining us shortly as well. So, Pakistani martial artist Irfan Mehsud from Waziristan has once again brought international acclaim. Sorry.
He has risen to the sports, and we say that winning is at the edge of your fingertips. However, he has completed and shown us how winning is actually at the palm of our hands. It is the martial artist Irfan Mehsud from Uzbekistan. He has brought a lot of international acclaim to the country. Assalamu alaikum, Irfan. How are you feeling today?
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much, Irfan, for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. And certainly, you've risen Pakistan's flag with pride, and we take pride in you too as well. But 156 Guinness World Record banana आसान नहीं है, Irfan. How did you do it?
बिल्कुल ये 156 गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड कहना आसान है, लेकिन बनाना काफी मुश्किल है और काफी नामुमकिन है। 9 साल के अरसे में ये गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड मैंने बनाए हैं। जो रिसेंटली गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड था, ये नॉर्वे के एक एथलीट हैं और हाई लेवल एथलीट हैं, उसका रिकॉर्ड था फिंगर टिप पुशअप किए थे 100 पाउंड वजन के साथ 27 और मैंने 39 किए हैं, तो यकीनन काफी ज्यादा खुशी महसूस हो रही है।
बट इरफान, मेरे ख्याल है इस मौके पे ये सवाल आपसे पूछना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि ये आइडिया आपको आया कैसे कि यार मैं एक काम करता हूँ कि मैं गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स बनाना शुरू कर देता हूँ पाकिस्तान के लिए और पाकिस्तान के नाम को पहचान देने के लिए। ये ख्याल आपके पास कैसे है? और 156 रिकॉर्ड्स कम रिकॉर्ड्स नहीं, आप बताएंगे कि किस किस एरिया में आपने ये रिकॉर्ड्स बनाए?
क्योंकि हमारा जो एरिया है ये काफ़ी बैकवर्ड एरिया है। यहाँ पे हम AIDP खाना है, यहाँ पे वो फैसिलिटीज हमारे पास नहीं है जैसे वर्ल्ड लेवल पे फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल हैं। तो मुझे ये एक प्लेटफॉर्म नज़र आया कि यहाँ से खान पाकिस्तान से मैं एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, वहाँ पे अपनी जो एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, जो हम अल्लाह ने मुझे कोई टैलेंट दिया हुआ है, वो वहाँ पे मैं शो कर सकता हूँ। तो गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड की वीडियोस वगैरह मैं देखा करता था टीवी चैनल पे और यूट्यूब पे, और कुछ रिकॉर्ड थे जो मैं समझ रहा था कि ये मैं कर सकता हूँ। तो उसी के लिए फिर मैंने प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट की, उसी के लिए फिर मैंने तैयारी की और 2016 में पहले गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड फिर मैंने बनाया।
Most recently, Irfan, you did 39 push-ups on your fingertips with 100 pounds on your back, and that is like around 46 kgs. That is almost how I weighed. So how were you able to do it? How did you practice for it, and where do you get the strength to train for this?
बिल्कुल, क्योंकि ये 46 केजी वेट काफ़ी ज़्यादा होता है और फिर फिंगर टिप्स के साथ पुशअप करना ये और भी डिफिकल्ट काम होता है। फिर 27 पुशअप का रिकॉर्ड था और 1 मिनट का टाइम फ्रेम था, और पुशअप के जो रूल्स है वो काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट होते हैं। वो गाइडलाइंस फुलफिल करना भी काफ़ी एक मुश्किल टास्क होता है। इसके लिए मैंने प्रैक्टिस की और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह फिर अच्छे मार्जिन से ये रिकॉर्ड मैंने बीट किया।
तो इरफान, मुझे ये बताइए आप कैसे करते हैं? क्या आप जो है वो गिनीज वालों को वीडियो बना के भेजते हैं या वो लोग खुद आते हैं पाकिस्तान और फिर उनके सामने आपको ये करना पड़ता है?
ये गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड अटेम्प्ट करना इसके मुख्तलिफ प्रोसेस है। एक ऑफिशियली उनका टीम को इनवाइट करना, उस पर फिर ये है कि 30-40 लाख से ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसेस आते हैं, शायद से भी ज़्यादा हो। उनको यहाँ पे एकोमोडेट करना, यहाँ पे 5 स्टार होटल। पाकिस्तान में 2011 में एक दफ़ा उनकी टीम आई हुई थी, गवर्नमेंट और पाकिस्तान ने उनको इनवाइट किया था, तो वो एक्सपेंसेस हमारे बस के बाहर है। जो यूके से, क्योंकि उनका हेडक्वार्टर यूके में है, यूके से बाहर के जो ममालिक हैं वो एक प्रोसेस होता है, उस पर 5-6 महीने ٹائم فریم دیتے ہیں, گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ آپ کو گائیڈ لائنس دیتے ہیں. ایک جو لوگ ہوتے ہیں ایکسپرٹ ہوتے ہیں ان کے سامنے یہ گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ آپ نے اٹیمپٹ کرنا ہے, ان کے ڈاکومنٹیشن وغیرہ ہوتی ہے, ان کی ویڈیوز وغیرہ ہوتی ہے, وہ آپ نے ان کو بھجوانی ہوتی ہے.
بالکل, کیا بات ہے, بہت ہی خوبصورت. اور عرفان بہت خوبصورتی سے آپ پاکستان کا نام روشن کرتے چلے جا رہے ہیں. لیکن اب اس میں ایک اور چیز کا تذکرہ میں ضرور کرنا چاہوں گا کہ آپ نے کیا کیا کہ پش اپ کیٹیگری اور جو 70 ریکارڈ سیٹ کیا آپ نے ورلڈ لیول کے اوپر, اور اس کے بعد 41 گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ آپ نے 100 پاؤنڈ, اس کے بعد 80 پاؤنڈ, 7 پاؤنڈ اور 40 پاؤنڈ کے وزن کے ساتھ آپ پریپیئر کرتے رہے اور آپ نے ان کو کریٹ کیا اور پاکستان کا نام روشن کیا ہے. تو یہ آپ کیسے اندازہ لگاتے ہیں کہ یار یہ والا ریکارڈ میں توڑ سکتا ہوں اور یہ والا ریکارڈ میرے سے نہیں توڑے گا, اور اس کے لیے کیا پوری ٹریننگ کرتے ہیں, اس کے لیے کیا کوئی خوراک چاہیے, کوئی کوچز چاہیے, کوئی ٹرینرز چاہیے آپ کو جو اتنے سارے ریکارڈ آپ بناتے چلے جاتے ہیں؟
میں چونکہ خود ٹرینر ہوں, کوچ ہوں, یہاں پہ ڈیرا میں میری مارشل آرٹ کی اکیڈمی ہے, جو الحمدللہ ہمارے اسٹوڈنٹس ہیں وہ نیشنل انٹرنیشنل لیول پہ پارٹیسپیٹ بھی کر چکے ہیں MMA میں اور باکسنگ میں. ان کے ساتھ پھر میں اپنی بھی ٹریننگ جاری رکھتا ہوں. 20 سے زائد اسٹوڈنٹ ہیں جو گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ بنا چکے ہیں. تو اسٹرینتھ کے زیادہ ریکارڈ میں سیٹ کرتا ہوں. مجھ میں جو کوالٹی اللہ نے دی ہوئی ہے وہ اسٹرینتھ زیادہ ہے, تو میں اسٹرینتھ کے جتنے بھی ریکارڈ ہوتے ہیں, فیسلٹیز, اسکواٹس اور پش اپ, جمپنگ جیکس وغیرہ کے جو عام روٹین میں ہم ایکسرسائز وغیرہ کرتے ہیں ان کو میں ویٹ کے ساتھ کرتا ہوں. تو وہ ڈیلی ہماری پریکٹس بھی ہوتی ہے, اور یہ ہے کہ اسٹرینتھ کے ویٹ وغیرہ بھی میں ڈیلی بیسس پہ استعمال کرتا ہوں. اس کی وجہ سے پھر گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ اٹیمپٹ کرنا میرے لیے تھوڑا آسان ہوتا ہے.
Irfan, not just this, we have actually seen that you are training future Guinness World Record breakers. You have 20 students who are breaking Guinness World Records and setting new standards for Pakistanis. So how are you training them? آپ کو کس نے انسپائر کیا کہ آپ اور بچوں کو بھی یہ سکھائیں اور ان کو انسپائر کریں اس کام کے لیے؟
مارشل آرٹ کی اکیڈمی میرا خواب نہیں تھا یا میرا پلان نہیں تھا کہ میں نے مارشل آرٹ کی اکیڈمی بنانی ہے. خود اپنی ٹریننگ یہاں پہ میں کر رہا تھا ریحان میں. پھر جب یہاں پہ لوگوں میں نے ٹیلنٹ دیکھا کہ یہاں پہ یہ جو بچے ہیں ان میں کافی ٹیلنٹ ہیں, وہ کافی آگے جا سکتے, تو ان کے لیے پراپر میں نے اکیڈمی اسٹارٹ کی. چونکہ میں خود جیکی چین جو چائنیز مارشل آرٹسٹ ہے اس سے انسپائر ہوا تھا, اس کی موویز وغیرہ دیکھا کرتا تھا. تو اس کے بعد پھر جو اب MMA آ گئی پاکستان میں, پاکستان کے جو یہاں پہ ایتھلیٹ ہے وہ کافی اچھے پارٹیسپیٹ کر رہے ہیں اور کافی ایسا پرفارم بھی کر رہے ہیں. تو ہمارے جو اسپیشلی یہاں پہ ہندوستان کے ایتھلیٹس ہیں وہ بھی ان میں اللہ نے کوالٹی دی ہوئی ہے, ان کے لیے پھر اکیڈمی میں نے بنائی کہ یہ وہ آگے کافی آگے جا سکتے ہیں. تو اسی سوچ کے مطابق اکیڈمی میں اسٹارٹ کی.
Exactly. And Irfan, my next question would be, thank you so much first of all that 20 of your students have actually been setting Guinness World Records, and thank you so much for preparing them and creating an academy for them. But now imagine that you have even broken world records in 20 different countries including United States, Britain, India, China, Norway, Germany, France, Finland, Philippines, Spain, Italy, Lebanon, Egypt, Iraq, Syria. So, how did you do that? 20 مختلف ممالک میں جا کر وہاں کے ریکارڈز توڑنا بھی کوئی خالہ جی کا واڑا نہیں ہے.
بالکل, یہاں پہ اگر ہم دیکھ لیں, ہم ہمیشہ ایک ہماری سوچ بنی ہوتی ہے کہ چائنیز مارشل آرٹ میں کافی آگے ہیں یا UK یا جو امریکہ ہیں, ہم ہمیشہ سمجھتے ہیں کہ وہ ہم سے کافی بہتر ہیں. لیکن ہمیں اللہ نے کوالٹی دی ہوئی ہے, اگر ہم ہمت کریں, محنت کریں تو ہم کافی کچھ اچیو کر سکتے ہیں. اسی سوچ کے مطابق میں کوشش کر رہا ہوں کہ اچھے سے ایسے ایتھلیٹ کے جو ریکارڈ ہے, اچھے سے اچھے جو یا سب سے ٹف گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ ہے ان کو بریک کرنے کی میں ہمیشہ کوشش کرتا ہوں.
Wow, I think that's wonderful, and Irfan, and everybody needs to learn from you as well. But Irfan, is this a career path that you have chosen for yourself? یہ کیا کوئی ایسی چیز ہے جس سے آپ اپنا ذریعہ معاش بھی جنریٹ کرتے ہیں, یا یہ صرف آپ شوقیہ کر رہے ہیں یا آپ صرف اپنے ملک کے لیے کر رہے ہیں؟
گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ کوئی ہمیں پے نہیں کرتا اور اس سے نہ ہم کوئی پیسے جنریٹ کر رہے ہیں. یہ صرف مین چیز یہ ہے کہ اللہ نے ہمیں ایک کوالٹی, ایک ٹیلنٹ دیا ہوا ہے, اس کو ورلڈ لیول پہ دکھانا ہے. اسپیشلی کوشش یہی کرنی ہے کہ پاکستان کا ایک ٹاپ امیج ہم نے ورلڈ لیول پہ دکھانا ہے کہ یہاں کے لوگوں میں ٹیلنٹ ہیں, وہ بھی کافی آگے جا سکتے ہیں, کافی ایسا پرفارم کر سکتے ہیں. اسی سوچ کے مطابق میں گینیز ورلڈ ریکارڈ بریک کر رہا ہوں. حالانکہ اس کے لیے باہر کے کنٹریز میں کافی اسپانسرشپ وغیرہ ہوتی ہے, کافی ڈائٹ اس کے لیے چاہیے ہوتی ہے. ہم بغیر ڈائٹ کے, بغیر स्पॉन्सरशिप के गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक करें। मेन मकसद ये है कि हम वर्ल्ड लेवल पे पाकिस्तान को का एक टॉप इमेज दिखा सके।
क्या बात है। और इरफान, इसी को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आपको Presidential Award for Excellence, you know, you have received the Presidential Award for Excellence in 2023. The government has been supporting you. The government has always made sure to recognize your efforts that you have been putting in for your country and the pride that you bring to our country. कुछ ऐसा लगता है आपको हुकूमत आपके लिए कुछ और भी कर सकती है?
जी भी, क्यों, हुकूमत काफ़ी कुछ कर सकती है अगर हमें सही तरीके से यहाँ पे फैसिलिटीज प्रोवाइड करें। अगर हम बगैर उस फैसिलिटीज के इतने टारगेट अचीव कर सकते हैं, इतना तो हम हमारे जो स्टूडेंट है वो परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं। अगर हमें फैसिलिटीज प्रोवाइड की जाए और मोटिवेट किया जाए, रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाए, तो इंशाल्लाह हम इससे बेहतर परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं।
क्या बात है। और हम इंशाल्लाह, you know, we'll try, and certainly because you are on Pakistan television today, everybody is hearing you, and thank you so much for making us all proud as well. Just very quickly, अगले ऐसे कौन से और रिकॉर्ड्स हैं जो आप तोड़ने जा रहे हैं, जिसका आपने इरादा किया हुआ है कि ये मैं तोड़ दूंगा, क्योंकि आपके इरादे मुझे वाकई इन रिकॉर्ड से ज़्यादा पुख्ता लगते हैं?
मैं एक चीज़ बार बार इंटरव्यू में कहता रहता हूँ कि आगे जो जितने रिकॉर्ड है या जो मैंने करना है वो इंशाल्लाह सरप्राइज में करूँगा। तो इंशाल्लाह आप लोग देख लेंगे। कुछ रिकॉर्ड मैंने टारगेट किए हुए हैं और कुछ की ब्रेकअप में कर रहा हूँ और कुछ मैंने ब्रेक किए हुए। इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है कि वो अप्रूव हो जाएंगे, तो आप लोग फिर टीवी चैनल पे देख लेंगे।
और उसके लिए आप तैयारी कैसे करते हैं? हाउ डू यू प्रिपेयर योर सेल्फ के जो आगे जितने भी अब आप रिकॉर्ड्स तोड़ेंगे? 156 तो आप ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, मेरा ख्याल है ये भी एक रिकॉर्ड होगा जो दुनिया में कि किसी ने 156 रिकॉर्ड बनाए हैं इटसेल्फ। तो आगे जो उसकी तैयारी, कभी आपके घर वाले कहते हैं कि बेटा इरफान सारा खाने पीने का खर्चा तो तुम्हारी सेहत पे हो रहा है माशाल्लाह?
खाने पीने का खर्चा मुझ पे नहीं हो रहा, बस उस लेवल की डाइट भी मैं नहीं ले रहा कि ज्यादा एक्सपेंसेस अपने ऊपर मैं लगाऊं। और ये है कि अपनी जो स्ट्रेंथ अल्लाह ने गॉड गिफ्टेड दी हुई है उसी को मैं यूटिलाइज कर रहा हूँ और परफॉर्म कर रहा हूँ।
Dogar, Irfan, thank you so much for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making Pakistan proud. और आपने ना सिर्फ मुल्क को बल्कि फ़ायदा दिया, आप और भी जो हमारी नई पौध है उसके लिए भी एक मिसाल है और मशले रहा है।
You know, that was very well put together, and to see how Irfan has been shining Pakistan's name across the globe and talking about international affairs. The International Day for Countering Hate Speech is being observed today. The day is an important occasion to renew global solidarity for combating hate speech, which is the prime catalyst for hatred, interreligious discord, discrimination, and increment to violence and acts of violence against people and communities. This message on the occasion, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says that hate speech is the poison in the well of society. It has paved the way for violence and atrocity during the darkest chapters of human history. Ethnic and religious minorities often bear the brunt, facing discrimination, exclusion, and harm. The tragic hate crimes and incidents witnessed around the world are a clear verdict against those who justify hate speech. Degradation and vilification of religious personalities and symbols are derogatory remarks to hurt sentiments of minorities as the fundamental freedom of expression or opinion. So we need to make sure that we are inclusive in our speech and we do not use any hate speech towards any minority or ethnicity or religious.
Exactly, thank you so much. And you know, I think that it gives a very strong message where most of the time what happens is that we use social media platforms to say whatever we feel like or whatever our opinions are. But ladies and gentlemen, we really need to be wise with our opinions, that we're not targeting a minority, that we're not targeting an ethnicity, that we're not targeting people for, or probably even body shaming as well, you know, because most of the times I've seen people, us as public figures, Eesha, people think that they can say anything to us. Well, really, ladies and gentlemen, there's a day which actually counters to hate speech.
And we are very, very glad to know that. And moving on, we need to talk about how Pakistan again is, you know, from the plains of Balochistan to New York, Pakistan has been in the spotlight for producing the most abundance and most vivid amount of olive oil, and Pakistan's olive oil is making waves. Lorelei Olives just bagged a silver award at the New York International Olive Oil Competition in 2025, and joining us from all the way from Italy is Mohammad Arbi Awan, who is a scientific officer. He has played a key role in the success and is a passionate scientist with experience in olive entomology. So we are very excited to hear about the olives that are being grown in Pakistan and how they are leading to success. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today?
Walaikum salam. Good morning. Thank you very much for having me and for the opportunity. So today I am not only representing my organization CIHEAM Bari Italy, but overall Pakistan olive sector, which has emerged as a promising new crop and is becoming the most important agricultural economy of the country.
Exactly. So first things first, which is why I think what we're going to ask you is that we won the silver award at the 2025 New York International Olive Oil Competition. How did that happen and how did it go?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to go back in the history that olive was not the indigenous crop of Pakistan. It was brought up in 1866 by British colonial. Since after that, few adaptability trials were done in Pakistan. Then the inclusion of Italian government since last 4 decades, from 1986, then 2009, then 2012, a project was brought up. And then the sector was little boomed by Pakistan government through the Ministry of National Food Security. A project was launched in 2012, promotion of olive cultivation on commercial scale in Pakistan, and they were giving plants to the olive farmers all over Pakistan on a subsidized rate, and olive plants, and as well as the irrigation, processing units, extraction units. So with that, the passage of time, the plantations were raising in all over Pakistan. Till now, 2025, 6 million olive plantation has been cultivated all over Pakistan on the area of 25,000 hectares. So
I think that's beautiful, but you know, for our audiences to kind of understand, what we really need to kind of talk about over here is how much olive oil do we import every year, or worth of how many dollars do we import every year?
yeah, every year we are importing around about 4 metric ton olive oil, which is the second largest bill, 4.5 billion US dollar after petroleum.
$4.5 billion every
yes.
year we're consuming olive oil.
Yeah,
Now,
and the local production is around 0.5 metric ton, so which is 12% of the production, and 88% we are importing from the abroad.
exactly. Well, that's wonderful, because now imagine that what we're trying to, or what our government is trying to do is that, you know, that we start to produce olive oil, and that there will be a day that we start to export it because we won a silver medal. The quality is top notch as well. Now imagine that, you know, that the technique that we are using is the cold extraction technology. What do we mean by that? What is cold extraction technology?
Okay, so government of Pakistan first has launched the projects, and now around 30% of that plantation, 6 million, is now on production.
Okay.
So after that, they have provided several extraction units all over Pakistan, in Balochistan, KP, Punjab. So first cold pressed means that is the first extraction of that olive oil. So we call that extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
And there are different capacities of the extraction unit, 600 kg, 500 kg per hour. So among all this, there are a lot of criteria which you have to follow, the rules for the hygiene process, which we call hazard analysis, critical control point, and those awareness were given by the Italian government through the olive culture project, CIHEAM Bari, Italy. So Italian government is working here since last 4 decades, which are providing technical assistance, capacity building to the farmers, to the stakeholders of Pakistan. And from that awareness, a company that has buy olive oil from Lorelei and has analyzed it in abroad, and through 1200 brand, among 1200 brands, Pakistan
entries,
olive
yes.
oil has been recognized as silver award.
Exactly. So thank you so much for saying that. But for people, you know, making it simpler for them, out of 1200 entries, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's olive oil has actually won a silver award, which is a great achievement. It's a great feat as well. But what are the international standards for the acidity, purity and flavors of olive oil? Because every time that we get olive oil from the market, some says virgin olive oil, some says extra virgin olive oil.
Some says light olive oil.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
says
You know, oleo tato olive oil, you know, something
and
of
there's
that
different
sort.
types and varieties of olives as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of varieties of Italian, Spanish, Greece, Tunisian, Turkish. So which are climatic suitable varieties. So different varieties is peculiarity have. So there are categories which we call extra virgin olive oil is the premium category of olive oil. Then is the virgin olive oil, and then we call it lampent and pomace. It depends upon their category, upon their hygiene process. So in Pakistan we have only the extra virgin olive oil because we have only the first cold press. We don't have virgin olive oil in the pomace industry. So Italian government is bringing the industry of pomace this year, and the categories of this olive oil, there are certain parameters which has to be followed according to International Olive Oil Council, like acidity, which should not be greater than 0.8.
Okay.
The peroxide should not be greater than 20%, and then the quality, the highest quality depends upon its polyphenol. The way it is higher, so it will be greater in the qualities.
All right, well that's wonderful. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah,
else?
and the rest is the sensory attributes. We call it organoleptic analysis through smell, through color, and through taste. So that is also a panelist.
And what is the factor for the purest and most valuable olive oil? How do I know that I'm getting the...
हम सही olive oil खा रहे हैं या नहीं खा रहे हैं?
Yeah, because of taste. इसका जो अरोमा हो थोड़ा बेटर हो, तो ये है कि इसका जो पॉलीफिनोल है वो हाई है, तो क्वालिटी में थोड़ा हाई होगा. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स कलर, अगर कलर इसका, क्योंकि इस डिफरेंट ऑलिव ऑयल, अगर आप राइप ऑलिव को एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं तो उसका कलर थोड़ा सा ब्लैकिश होगा. अगर आप ग्रीन ऑलिव को एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे उसका कलर थोड़ा सा गोल्डन टाइप होगा. सो देयर आर सर्टेन पैरामीटर्स व्हिच हैज टू बी
I think that's wonderful, but now the most important question, and that is that, you know, whichever doctor you go to because of your cholesterol or other issues, the doctor would be like, sir, you know, I think it's high time that you convert to olive oil. And now olive oil certainly is very expensive. You know, it's like a 1 liter bottle will cost you 5,000 or 6,000 rupees. Not everybody can use it too. Now imagine if Pakistan becomes self-sufficient. Do you think that these prices are going to come down, or do you think that they are going to go up?
Absolutely, it will rise, because until now there were no strategic roadmap, and Pakistan, under the initiative of Government of Pakistan, Ministry of National Food Security, our organization Olive Culture Project, CIHEAM Bari expert, has framed a policy which we call National Olive Value Chain Policy.
Okay.
A strategic roadmap from 2024 to 2030. So the main aim of this and the policy has now submitted to the Prime Minister Federal Cabinet, and which will be approved I think 1 or 2 weeks.
Inshallah.
And the main aim of this policy is to increase production, enhance hygiene process and human resources, and attract private sector, promote and facilitate the olive stakeholders, and promote domestic consumption and compete with the international and national market.
And that's exactly where the challenges are going to come in now.
Exactly.
And I think that we need to speak about it, because what happens is that, you know, you've mentioned that 0.5 metric ton is what we are producing.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now imagine that, you know, to increase the production, we might face a few challenges. And I don't know whether how should I actually put it, but we do know that there can be, you know, signs of mixing, or, you know, probably bridging other oils into olive oils. How do you think that these challenges will be overcome? And do you think that with the policy that you've spoken about, which is you know, still pending or awaiting its confirmation from the upper house as well, do you think that in days to come these challenges will settle down as well, and that the production is going to go up? Because imagine that we started in 2012, we're in 2025, where now we won a silver award. God forbid, if there's going to be such issues, we might not even maintain the standard of olive oil.
Exactly. Until now, 6 million, as I told you, 6 million plant has been planted. So around this 6 million, 30% olive plant is now giving production. So 70% is still in juvenile stage. So by the passage of time, it will increase, and the price of this will exactly comes to lower. But to avoid the olive oil mixing and quality, Olive Culture Project, CIHEAM Bari has established the first in the country National Central Reference Laboratory for olive oil quality analysis, which are providing free of cost advisory service to the farmers, to the stakeholders who have olive oil. So you can go to them and test your olive oil, either it is pure, either it has some
You know,
mixing.
what's very fascinating to me is how Balochistan is a very rugged area, but through the initiatives and efforts of the Pakistan government and the olive cultivation initiative, how was this able to be cultivated in such a massive amount?
There were certain adaptability trials done in previous, which some of them were failed, some of them have gotten, there were a lot of results. So Balochistan is the area which is a bit, if I go towards climatic type, it has a hard
Harsh
dry
conditions.
climate,
Yeah.
so which is representing the Mediterranean type of climate, and especially their soil is very fertile. So there are very less inputs required in terms of olive, because it is the only crop which are not replacing your other deciduous crop. Like if you have plum, you have apricot, you can plant it on marginal barren land also.
Wow, I think that's wonderful. But since we're talking about the silver medal achievement that we have had for olive oils, that actually goes to Lorelei olives in Balochistan. Wonderful. Now, where do you think that all the other plantations have taken place? Is it only in Balochistan, or are we looking at Sindh? Are we looking at Balochistan, KPK, Gilgit, elsewhere as well?
Most of the plantation has been done in Balochistan, around 2.1 million, followed by KPK, then Punjab, then AJK, and then GB, and now Sindh is also emerging as an initiative because their plantation has been done, but still they are now under the adaptability and adaptability trials.
Exactly, that's wonderful. And do you think that the farmers in all of these provinces are actually well equipped and well prepared and well learned to kind of be in the field, where we're growing olives?
If I talk about their capacity building, so before 2022, there were a lot of issues for the farmers. They didn't know about the pruning of the plants, pre and post harvestings. So through the olive culture project, phase 1, we have provided a lot of trainings in Balochistan through the international expert of Italy who came to Pakistan, provided trainings, capacity building, as well as scientists from here has gone to Italy and they have been trained over there. So now we are in the second phase of olive culture. We call it olive culture scale-up, and we are providing technical assistance again to the farmers. Wonderful. And make them more sustainable, their production, their quality, to enhance their production.
And can we grow them throughout the year, or there's a particular season where we will see olives growing on in probably Punjab?
Yeah, there are seasons. First we start in February, and then after monsoon, so we can start.
I think that's wonderful. Now, one last question, and that is that how do you think that we can actually bring a lot of value addition to it? Because now we need to think about the packaging, how we're really going to make sure that the life is longer of the olives that we are producing. Do you think that we are putting an industry in place to kind of make sure that whatever olive growth that we see in Pakistan will be protected, and then probably when we export it, people will actually enjoy the ripe taste of olives produced in Pakistan?
Exactly. The Lorelei Olive Award, which has been recognized, is the way for the other farmers. They have olive oils. Olive is not giving us the olive oil. We can got the value addition like olive pickles. There are a lot of communities which are preparing their cosmetics. So olive has a lot of potential, as well as coming the climate crisis which are Pakistan now facing. So olive is the only powerful tool which are giving help in the climate change mitigation through carbon sequestration.
Wonderful.
So I would like to give this message to the farmers, to the stakeholders that plant olive trees in your area, marginal or barren land, whether it is, and make olive a part of your regular life in your kitchen, in your cooking. And now that we know that Pakistan locally olive oil is available in the Pakistani markets, so use it and adopt a healthier life.
Because I farm myself, so if I could get a few saplings as well and I could try it on my own, I think that'll be an opportunity for farmers who are out there to do it on their own.
Obviously.
Right? Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to that as well. But thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for sharing this information. Thank you so much for making Pakistan proud. And certainly this is an industry where Pakistan will be banking on, and in days to come we will be exporting olive oil, right?
Exactly.
And
Inshallah.
consuming it for our health as well.
Inshallah.
आप olive oil खाते?
Exactly.
Abbas वही खाते हैं?
Paratha.
पराठा, क्या बात है। और अंडा भी उसी में फ्राई कर रहे हैं?
No, I just only take paratha, or just take it raw with the lemon and bread, so it is a very tasty.
क्या बात है, I think that's great as well. Thank you so much. Next time आपने जब भी आना हमारे लिए 2-2, 3-3 बोतलें olive oil की।
Inshallah, I will bring the Pak olive brand, which has been launched through the collaboration of Pakistan and Italy government. So
क्या बात है, thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. भाईजान आप भी olive oil खा रहे हैं? वो भी खा रहे हैं।
Everyone's obsessed with olive oil.
I just wanted to ask everybody if they have the luxury to have. You wanted to say something?
no, thank you.
It felt like as if you wanted to say something. But ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why I actually asked him this question, that we really need to add value. We need to make sure that that we protect it for the people who we will be sending or exporting the olive oil to as well. And for that, a lot of industry needs to come in. The farmer needs to be educated. And alhamdulillah, I think that they're doing the right job, because of the fact that there is a day which we call Sustainable Gastronomy Day 2025. So Sustainable Gastronomy Day is observed every year on June 18 to raise awareness of the role and importance of sustainable gastronomy in promoting food security,
agriculture development and sustainable food production, conservation of biodiversity and sustainable development. Sustainable gastronomy refers to the cuisine or the style of cooking that maximizes food usage and minimizes food waste. That is a great initiative. According to the FAO, 1/3 of all food production in the world is either lost or wasted, amounting to 1.3 billion tons per year, which causes an unnecessary burden on natural resources. The day therefore recognizes the practices and principles associated with sustainable food consumption, including the art of food collection and preparation.
which is why, Eesha, I'm going to ask you this question before we introduce our worthy guest, and that is that what is that oldest practice that you have seen, your mother or your dadi or your grandparents, following so that food is not wasted in your household?
All right, so we never discard of any peels, right? So we use it as compost. My mom likes to dry it and then use it in the plants, and then even with eggshells we grind it up and use it as a protein source for our dogs, for our plants, and also with seeds. So when we use melons, right, so we just scrape out the guts and we discard of the seeds, but you can actually dry those seeds and use them as snacks or use them as dessert toppings.
Wow, really?
And not just this, internationally we have seen how Koreans and Chinese, they actually use chicken feet in a lot of their dishes. And we also on Eid, when we get our bakras, so we make sure to use every part, unless the ones that are non-usable. We have liver, we have everything. We use
What about
pie.
siri and pie?
We use
Even
pie.
siri as well?
Okay, I've never had siri, but pie, of course, we have pie. And talking about this, we actually have a very influential and charismatic personality who is MOHNI, who uses appealing and enticing food to attract viewers at her food blogging page, and we are very, very exciting to have Maria MOHNI with us today. Assalamu alaikum, Maria. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Maria, your food is so enticing and appealing. Please let us know that how we as Pakistanis can use tips or tricks in our daily life to actually save food, because a lot of food parts are discarded like we discussed. So how can we actually include everything in our diets without wasting it?
I think we usually use, as Pakistanis and as experienced homemakers, we have been taught from generations to generations to make the best use of whatever grocery we have, So since we're talking about sustainable gastronomy, I think every bite matters, and minimizing food wastages from where we can start. For example, talking about seasonal fruits, like mango ka season hai, make the best use of it. If you have fruits that which are overly ripe, make something out of it, which kids would enjoy, which you would enjoy. For example, if bananas are overly ripe, we usually throw it. But there's one trick you can use. You can make banana bread. You can also make banana peels. You can bake them. You can make banana chips. If you have apples and their peels, you can make apple tea, for example.
Apple tea sounds so enticing. So, talking about how this day also celebrates local dishes, Pakistan has a huge variety of seasonal fruits and vegetables. Like we have mangoes in the summers, we have pomegranate in the winters. Then for a brief amount of time, we have strawberries and falsas. So how do you have any fun recipes to share with us regarding how we can use these fruits and vegetables?
Yes, I think the best way to use all the seasonal fruits is to make a fruit chart. Okay, and because seasonal fruits are best enjoyed, how fresh they are. They need to be fresh, really fresh. Another very nice trick that I do is that I freeze them. I love making freeze recipes. Whenever there's a season of lemons, for example, I just make jars of lemons and then I freeze them. And it comes out really handy, especially for working mothers, because then you can easily marinate stuff. You can easily just shake out a jar and, thaw it at room temperature and then put it in the refrigerator and use it for days and days, because lemon is actually a natural preservative. You can use it. So there are so many ways you can use natural and seasonal fruits. You can use them in desserts. My mango desserts are always a hit. And they're also healthy. You can pair them with yogurt, with what do we call that? You can use them with cream cheese, you can use them with biscuit base, you can use them with other fruits as well. So it actually depends on your taste buds, which kind of, plate you're looking at.
And we do have people, where they will actually have a plate of rice, will put some sort of quiz on top of it, then there'll be fruit on top of it and whatnot. So people will have very different sort of taste buds. But let's not go over there because you've spoken about fruits and vegetables. It's more about, how we have always made sure to kind of utilize all of what we have at our resource. Now imagine, let's come back to, because it was Bakra Eid just a few days ago as well, and a lot of people get rid of the fat on top of the meat that we get. How do you think that that fat can effectively be used in cooking or making your mutton or beef more special? Can you give us some advice on that?
Oh yes, the fat is actually, it adds taste to the meat. For example, in any kebab recipe, you need 20% fat. It makes the kebab more juicy. So you can preserve it. You can just take it out and, cook it at a certain temperature and preserve it and use it later. You can make ghee out of it. There are millions of YouTube videos. One can see that and make the best use out of it. Luckily, in Pakistan, our food does not go to waste. I have visited states, I have visited other countries. Anything that is cooked in abundance is usually thrown away. They have garbage, food disposal for that. But in Pakistan, we have people who very happily take away food. We have the garbage man, we have, helps around. So even if you cook in excess, you can give it to them. It is actually your social responsibility, and none of the food goes to waste.
That was very well put together, and now I'm motivated to, conserve the fat from my bakra next year.
And you might even need it. Yeah.
And talking about how this day actually celebrates local food and local cuisine, please let us know what is this one local cuisine dish that you would actually love to make and eat every single day for the rest of your life if you had the option to do so.
And people might have forgotten about that dish too, so you might have to kind of...
I love, I am not a very big fan of meat or, mutton and beef, but I love dal chawal. And then I love biryani.
That spoke to my heart. And you saying that you freeze lemons, my mother actually does that too. And you saying that you love dal chawal, my mother actually loves dal chawal as well. So right now you are very much reminding me of my mom.
But now quickly coming back to, okay, I think because your blog is so influential that a lot of people follow you, Maria. And now imagine that every single morning when I wake up, I look forward to my breakfast, right? And most of the time when my chef comes in and he's like, I didn't really cook anything last night because we were out there dining. What are those quick dishes that you can make? I'm going to give you one, you have to give us 5, right? So I can give you pyaz tomato. Okay, let's get started with that. I would always love pyaz tomato in the morning, and that too with a bit of achar. Go ahead, you have to give us 5 quick dishes.
5 quick dishes, okay. How quickly? Okay, my personal favorite nowadays is chia pudding, chia mango pudding. So you just, soak chia in some milk and yogurt, a little bit of cinnamon powder, and whisk them well because they tend to bind together. And then add mangoes or peach or plum, whichever fruit you like. Bananas and mangoes really go well with it. And just put it in the refrigerator. Enjoy it in the morning, and so good, and it's so healthy. Secondly, omelette. We all love omelettes. So my son, he's a protein lover and he's a fitness freak. So I make an omelette with all the veggies, whichever he likes, with a bit of, steak pieces. Just have the steaks marinated and just shallow fry them. And you can cut the chunks and add it to it and just shallow fry it. It's a very healthy and superb breakfast. What else? Oats pudding, overnight oats. It's the same recipe as chia pudding, just use oats and add walnuts to it. It's a lovely breakfast. And desi breakfast mein you can have parathas. I am not paratha fan, but people like parathas. A quick paratha with a fried egg would do. Ek aur recipe batani, one more recipe. Strawberry and cream, strawberry and cream. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
That sounds so delicious. Strawberries with cream. And I would actually add chocolate to it.
यार उनकी रेसिपी है.
And you know, talking about how you've talked about such delicious recipes, but what I want to know is that these days it is very hot and humid, so people don't want to go in the kitchen. So are there any quick and easy one-pot recipes for all the mommies out there? No,
Just
no,
go
for
take them out of the fridge, put cream on top of the strawberry and have it. That's
no,
it.
no, like
No, one pot breakfast recipes or one pot lunch recipe. Okay, breakfast you can just make them overnight and enjoy it in the morning. So it's so easy as that. But I marinate and put chicken roast and shami kebabs and things like this, and just make dal chawal and complement it with any meat option you have. So just having one day in the kitchen for a few hours is better than doing it every day, because we can't manage all of the things and it's piping hot in the kitchen. You need to manage so many things as a homemaker and as a working mother, that you need to have things managed in the kitchen.
exactly.
But very quickly towards the end, one last question, Maria, and that is that over here in Pakistan, we have a trend of drenching our vegetables into oil. So whenever the curry is going to come out, it will be more oil than the vegetable in its original
And
form.
masalas as well.
How would you suggest that we need to cook vegetables where we could actually enjoy the vegetable more than the oil?
I think you can easily cook 1 kg of vegetables in 1 tablespoon of oil. It's fine. We tend to, we love to see oil in our food, you know. Ye to say pakka hi nahi hua is what we get, ke to, you know, you haven't sauteed it well. But you can easily saute vegetables in less oil, just shallow fry them and you get amazing taste. It's more of herbs than oil that, you know, elevates the taste.
Exactly. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mario, for being with us. Thank you so much for talking about such an important day where we're talking about how food does not really need to be wasted and all of it needs to be consumed maybe by humans, animals, or any other beings which are out there. So thank you so much. And for people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, we hope and pray that you're doing wonderfully well, that you'll have a great day. I know that I've been under the weather for past 2 days, but I've been trying my level best. And that's the kind of dedication that every individual needs. You know, please make sure that you go to first, और नींद आ रही है और तबीयत खराब और ये सब चलता रहेगा. Ladies and gentlemen, remember us all in your prayers, and we will remember you in our prayers as well. Until next time, look after yourselves. Good morning. Bye. Have a great day.